Hi, I'm Lisa K. Donner, along with Andrew Moran, Sarah Calgill, Jeff Charles, and Scott Cosenza. And this is the Conservative 5, Liberty Nation's online TV news program. How serious is it when government officials mishandle classified documents? Why is Joe Biden's stash any different than, say, Donald Trump's? Seems every time you turn on the news, someone is breaking the classified code of conduct, whatever that is. And anymore, you can't tell the players without a scorecard. Who knows what Joe was thinking, considering Hunter Biden had access to every paper in Daddy's Delaware garage. Jeff Charles, I know you have a snappy retort to explain this mess.
I'm pretty consistent. I mean, when it comes to Trump and Biden, and these documents, I'm not seeing that they're that big of a deal, but everything is political nowadays, so it has to be a big deal. And one thing that I pointed out is that this stuff isn't going to get solved because people only look at this politically. They only care when it's the other guy doing it. So we're going to keep seeing more and more and more of this. And Edward Snowden actually put out a tweet a few days ago where he basically said that there are a lot of issues with these classified systems. When Reality Winner goes to jail for 5 years for one document and leaking that, but then people have boxes of documents and they're protected, there's a two-tier justice system here. So, I mean, unless they burn it all down and figure it out from scratch and figure out, okay, this is exactly how we're going to handle classified documents, we're just going to keep seeing more of this. So this is just the next political bugaboo or whatever. And in a few days, it'll probably be under the rug.
Sarah, I can't figure out what the protocol is, and I have a feeling the former president and the current president don't know what the protocol is either. I mean, they're finding it everywhere but in the sock drawer.
Well, it is a bugaboo. Where'd that word come from? That's just goofy. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what the classified code of conduct is. I'm not sure anybody in any administration, this far knows what it is. And frankly, I mean, Joe Biden could be hiding documents that detail, swimming naked in the pool in front of female Secret Service agents. I don't know what he's trying to hide, or if he's just going through them.
You're definitely trying to get us banned on the YouTube.
He's not trying to hide anything when he does that, Sarah.
Well, yeah. That's true. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he just leafs through them and has some kind of fond memories of it. Maybe it's like a scrapbook collection. I don't know what was in Trump's. I don't know what's in Joe Biden's. I don't know why they think they need to take it out of archives or not send it to archives. I don't know. I mean, it's the most ridiculous political point ever. It's not like it's, state secrets where we're going to sell them to China. I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Here's my secret theory. My theory is, Scott, that they're all squirreling this stuff away for their big fancy libraries that they're going to someday build. The the vanity libraries that every president has, except for, say, George Washington.
Lisa, I'm actually going to turn the clock back to when we had a classified documents scandal that really did implicate security breaches, and it was Hillary's documents that she had on her unsecured server. And what happened then was the FBI read into the law an intent element that doesn't actually exist in the law. So they basically said, we're not going to go after Hillary because she didn't mean it or have any ill intent. But the classified document laws don't have anything to do with intent. I actually think that's a bad idea. But if you're going to enforce them at all, not enforcing them against Hillary, who really did have sensitive documents on a server that was exposed to foreign access. I tend to agree with Mr. Charles that, it's a nothing burger if they're in Trump's locked Mar-a-Lago closet, and they're a nothing burger if they're in Biden's locked garage and in his trunk, maybe. I don't know. But it is two standards. And the standard is that when it can be enforced against Donald Trump, the law is a cudgel. And when it's, against Hillary or Biden, it's some kind of buoy for them.
I've been noticing, Andrew, that the press seems to be running pretty hot on this and shoving Biden a little bit under the bus, which is interesting because, we expect them to do that with Trump, not so much for Biden. What's your take?
Linda, let me tell you something. Because I have classified documents in a box next to my Corvette, it doesn't mean that I have documents that are classified. not a joke. Now, Joey Boy can tell
In all
Joe
seriousness.
Biden's America that I'm trustworthy. But seriously, this is the greatest. This is one of my favorite stories. It's only early 2023. It's quickly my favorite story of the year. And I want to say the media is throwing Biden under the bus because the media is going to great length to differentiate between Trump's story and Biden's story. One thing I saw recently was, I think it was CNN. They had a split screen talking about the differences. And one of them was a complete lie and said that Biden only accidentally had 20 documents. But the justice officials have never actually openly declared how many documents that Joe Biden has. So I think that's just one aspect of it. And of course, with the whole National Archives, you're right about, these presidents always putting it into the library. One thing, too, the National Archives knew Trump had it in his Mar-a-Lago. And, Trump actually even invited FBI officials to, take the subpoena documents. But for whatever reason, maybe Mr. Cosenza can talk about this, that, they raided his Mar-a-Lago retreat. So overall, I think the media is still playing defense for Biden. And, they're probably just hoping another thing isn't found in his colon, as you shared in our private Slack.
Scott, you want to put your 2 cents?
I just want to say, don't forget about the posed photo shoot with the covers of the documents that said top secret or whatever, that they then took for the purpose of leaking. So it wasn't that this was an evidentiary document that was then somehow leaked the photo of. No, the photo was conceived of to leak to damage Donald Trump politically. That's what we've had from the FBI and the DOJ in the Trump instance. So
Yeah,
in every way, shape, or form, when we compare these two things, Biden's conduct seems to be worse than Trump's. That's the distinction.
Well, it's interesting you said that because, Jeff, at the beginning, the media, the legacy media, was using the Democratic talking point, which always has 2 words. One of their talking points was without evidence. They use that everywhere. This was significant differences. Significant differences exist between Trump's and Biden's documents. Are you buying it?
No, I mean, I even read a CNN report saying much what Andrew was saying, that it was so different, but so that Biden's isn't that bad and Trump's is the worst thing ever. I'm not buying it. Like, it doesn't make much sense at all. I mean, you can point out differences between how both of them have handled it, but at the end of the day, they both did the same thing. And you could argue that Biden's was worse because he had documents in multiple places. Some that where it wasn't even secured. Oh, it was in my garage next to my Corvette. It was fine. Trump at least had his at Mar-a-Lago in one room, and nobody was getting in there. So there really is no way to say that one is worse than the other. I mean, we can quibble over these little details. The bottom line is that Trump and Biden did the exact same thing. The reason they're mad about it is because they were planning on using this whole Mar-a-Lago thing against Trump politically, like Scott said. But now that Biden has come, Biden basically blew that out of the water because they can't do as much with it now.
Remember what Saul Alinsky said? Saul Alinsky said that
Hunter had a key to the garage. That's the biggest problem. Hunter could get in. Hunter.
I'm sure Corn Pop could have gotten in too.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, well, Saul Alinsky, remember what he said? He said that accuse your opponent of what you were guilty of doing. So I think this is a great personification of that quote.
Sarah,
let me just say one other thing, which is that Trump's claim to be able to declassify documents is actually superior to that of Joe Biden's, because Trump was president, and before he had the documents, Biden had not been president. So even legally speaking, I think Trump has a superior claim.
Sarah, I'm going to give you the last word as our longest running political person here on the panel. Is this going to end up mattering a lot, a little, not at all, for Biden first and then for Trump?
For Trump, I'm going to say no. I don't think it's going to be his biggest hurdle heading into 2024, only because now, it seems that other people have done it. And so the media has had to, drop back and kind of figure out where to go with this. The other thing is, I don't think the media is very keen on having Joe Biden run again for president. I think this will damage him, and they will, start pulling the reins back to see if he can't change this team up a little bit some way or somehow. That's just my perspective.
Absolutely agree with you on that second point. Well, everyone, you heard our full range of thought on the document stash. We'll keep you updated as more things come to light. Thanks, panel. That's it for our Conservative 5 panel today. Check out our other C5 shows and segments on your favorite video platform. YouTube, Vimeo, Rumble, we're on them all. As well, Liberty Nation has its own Roku channel where you can see all of our TV productions. Special thanks to our fantastic editor and post coordinator, Frank DiOrio, and our executive producer, Sarah Calgill. I'm Lisa K. Donner, editor-in-chief. Thanks so much for joining us today. This has been a production of LibertyNation.com, where truth is making a comeback.